Hello my dear people, you're welcome to the channel. So still on Magu, I have some updates for you guys, as well as some secrets. When I mean secrets, I mean secrets that have been revealed about Magu, as well as some powerful forces, all right, want to happen to Magu. So all of these you're going to see in this video. Okay, so the video is going to come in different segments, so I'd advise you to please watch till the end if you can. So it's going to come first of all with a video, and after the video would come the news, the two different news, and then lastly another video, and then my comments on that. All right, so please stay tuned to the end if you can. All right, but before then, have you been watching videos on this channel and you haven't subscribed? Please do me that big favor by subscribing to the channel, okay? And also please turn on the notification bell so that you're quickly informed at every single time I upload a video on this channel, okay? And for every one of you who has subscribed, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
The suspension of the embattled acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, and appointment of Ibrahim Umar as acting chairman of the anti-graft agency brings to an end speculation as the fate of Magu as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. In this special report, AIT examines the controversies that led to the former anti-graft chief's present ordeal.
That perhaps best describes Magu's era as the head of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Magu was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari on November 10, 2015, following the exit of Ibrahim Lamurde. An assistant commissioner of police at the time and a member of the Presidential Advisory Committee on Anti-Corruption, PASAC. His appointment received mixed reactions, with many questioning his intellectual capacity to manage an organization like the EFCC. Those who held that view received a validation after Magu appeared before the Senate for his confirmation hearing. His first performance for them was far from inspiring and convincing. His integrity was called into question by none other but Nigeria's top security institution for vetting of public officers. The Department of State Security, on request, presented a report to the Senate indicting Magu of various illicit deals involving one retired Air Commodore Umar Mohammed, described by the DSS as a questionable businessman. The report further revealed that the Police Service Commission in December 2010 found Magu guilty of action prejudicial to state security, withholding of EFCC files, sabotage, unauthorized removal of EFCC files, and acts unbecoming of a police officer, and awarded him severe reprimand as punishment.
DSS, that is the highest intelligence organization in Nigeria, brought two conflicting reports about him, which was sufficient to establish doubts. But against all odds, he started presiding over EFCC as an acting chair.
But the president didn't give up on Magu, allowing him to remain in office as Nigeria's anti-corruption chief, albeit in acting role. Soon, Magu became President Buhari's poster boy in the anti-graft war, using state powers to clamp down on perceived corrupt individuals in the country, most of whom many civil society organizations described as members of the opposition and enemies of the president. He won the applause of those who believed in him, but a problem never leaves until it is dealt with. And like an Achilles heel, Magu's problems stayed with him.
So what we are seeing today is that Magu, his masters no longer find pleasure in him. They no longer find, his sacrifices no longer please them. And so, regrettably, he has been, dispensed with. That is the word.
In November 2017, reports emerged of alleged properties acquired by the former anti-graft chief in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. The commission spokesman at the time, Wilson Wajaren, in a statement described the report as that of shadowy interest at the receiving end of the agency's anti-corruption campaign.
linking him to some illicit operations. I mean, it's only lawful, patriotic, and civil for the Senate not to pass such a man.
President Buhari looked the other way, and Magu continued on his job, unhindered in acting capacity, this time working vigorously to facilitate the country's quest to recover looted funds, which came in cash, properties, and other valuables, and by extension, pleased the president. However, Magu refused the request for a comprehensive report on these recoveries by some civil society groups in the country, a decision that was going to become his undoing.
We tested his IQ, we tested his knowledge on the job. His performance was also a beautiful nonsense. He didn't do well. So from all perspectives, he was not qualified to be chairman of EFCC. And I think today Nigerians have vindicated.
The last straw that broke the camel's back was the memo released by the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, accusing Magu of insubordination, misconduct, and diversion of recovered loot. As a man given the responsibility to supervise the former anti-graft chief, Malami's memo became of interest to the presidency. This led to the setting up of a presidential probe panel whose recommendations may have seen Magu suspended. With the suspension, the former Nigeria anti-corruption czar's era at the EFCC may have come to an end. But what is left is for him to fight his battles and clear his name. Ogianave Uduimo, AIT News, Abuja.
So, having seen that, let me quickly reiterate again that Magu is to account for 380 houses seized, 7 vehicles loaded with crude oil, disposal of assets worth 37 billion naira. Okay, so because I wanted to just quickly say this, because that would be the basis for the first news that I'm going to be reading for you guys. Okay, so that said, please listen to this. It says, I know the names of people that shared the money for crude oil laden ships, Jackson revealed. A global ambassador, communication expert, and former director of strategy communication under former President of Nigeria, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Mr. Jackson Ude, responded to alleged news of former EFCC boss Ibrahim Magu quizzed over 380 houses, 7 crude oil laden ships, 37 billion naira assets. According to him, the alleged 7 ships loaded with crude oil ended up in tank farms in Qingdao, China. He also said that goods was sold for a price of $800 million. He, Mr. Jackson, alleged that the money was shared to few individuals, which he is ready to reveal their names in due time. That 7 ship loaded with crude oil ended up in tank farms in Qingdao, China. It was sold for over $800 million, and the money shared by few persons. Wait for their names when I release the details, Mr. Jackson said. Recall that same Mr. Jackson Ude recently revealed that Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, pastor, took part in Magu's 37 billion naira fraud, which he claimed that the embattled suspended EFCC chairman confessed during interrogations from the investigation panel set to probe him. The news was debunked by the presidency and office of vice president and threatening to take legal action against Mr. Jackson Ude for defamatory comments made on the person of the vice president, Pastor Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Responding to the legal action planned by VP, Mr. Jackson shared some comments made by Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo against former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan that the former president stole Nigeria's money, yet Goodluck did not seek legal action against his defamatory comments. So with all these revelations shared by Mr. Jackson Ude, will the federal government allow it to just go like that, or should further total investigations be carried out on these allegations? Alright, so that's the first news actually. Now let me go over to the second news. It says, National Coordinator of the Concerned Advocates for Good Governance, CAGG, Olusegun Bamboshe, Esquire, has asked President Muhammad Buhari to place Ibrahim Magu, the suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, under house arrest with full security after his interrogation. Bamboshe believes that there are some powerful forces who will want Magu dead than to live to recount details of his experience as EFCC chairman. The senior legal practitioner noted that if Magu decides to open up, many heads will roll and the nation may explode, adding that the acting EFCC boss has secrets that may shake the nation's foundation. President Buhari announced the suspension of Magu as acting chairman of EFCC on Friday as he remains in detention. The presidential panel is still investigating the numerous allegations leveled against him by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami. Bamboshe, in a chat with Daily Post on Friday, noted that the directive to thoroughly investigate Magu by the presidency is commendable. The truth, however, is that if Magu decides to open up, many heads will roll and the nation may explode. Magu has secrets that may shake the whole nation. There are some powerful forces who at this juncture will want Magu dead than live to recount details of his experience as EFCC chairman. His life is in danger. I'll urge President Buhari to order him to be placed under house arrest with full security. If Magu decides to spill the beans and open the can of worms, the nation will quake. I see powerful forces scheming to do away with him. The president should protect him. When investigation is over, he should be accordingly charged to court, and if found guilty, he should be sent to jail. This will act as a deterrent to others that the fight against corruption is real. Nobody is above the law. All hands must be on deck to stem the tide of corruption in Nigeria. So that said, please watch this throwback video.
My very respected colleagues, my name is Dino Melaye, Kogi West. You speak the truth, you die. You lie, you die. I have chosen to speak the truth and die. Mr. Acting Chairman EFCC, I love you. I appreciate your sagacity. Mr. Chairman, I have before me 2 reports from the SSS. One addressed to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in October, and the second one written to this chamber and was received by the Senate, the office of the clerk of the Senate, at 5:02 p.m. just yesterday. Mr. Ibrahim Magu, nominee for the position of the chairmanship of the EFCC, having gone through this report, the first report indicted you, but because of the letter from Mr. President, you are here again. Just yesterday, this report was received from the SSS. Mr. Chairman, if I have your permission, I want to read paragraph 14 of that report. Paragraph 14 of that report reads thus: in the light of the foregoing, many other issues have been mentioned. In the light of the foregoing, Magu, M-A-G-U, Magu in capital letters, has failed the integrity test. Paragraph 14. Page 5. Page 5, paragraph 14.
The last page.
In the light of the foregoing, Magu has failed the integrity test and will eventually constitute a liability to the anti-corruption drive of the present administration. When I read this morning, I also want to inform you, Mr. Magu, if you are not aware, that every nominee that comes to this Senate, we do request for screening by the SSS. It did not start with you, it will not end with you. So it's at the premise of this request that we have received this from the SSS. The Department of State Security Service is to us what the FBI and CIA is. And we cannot ridicule. We cannot undermine. We cannot put in abeyance the report of the department. Yes, sir. I'm coming. It's a very important, Mr. Chairman. Please, excuse me, please. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Acting Chairman, I'm sorry. Anyone who wants to be chairman of EFCC must have the character and characteristics of the wife of Caesar. You must be unblemished, you must be pure, you must be stainless. And from the question and answer that have been going on, from my own myopic point of view, Mr. Chairman, Acting Chairman, from the questions asked so far, from my own, this is my own personal assessment, I conclude that there is, as I speak to you, there is a conclusion of a case right now in the police station, which you are aware of, where EFCC people raided a particular house, sea of O's taken, and those sea of O's were found in the market. And police have investigated. One of the sea of O's, two of the sea of O's have been returned back to the owner. Under your watch as EFCC chairman, do you still think you, after this report, and as a result of what has happened to the CFO of an innocent Nigerian, do you still see yourself qualified to be the chairman of EFCC? Or we take you to Golgotha?
So that's the video. Magu has never been a saint, guys, so this shouldn't be surprising at all to anybody. But then the very major question, okay, this question has been playing in my head, since I saw this news. Why do they always have secrets that if they reveal, the nation will shake? Why do they always have secrets that if they reveal, heads will roll? Please, 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 what is this secret? What is this secret that they find it difficult to reveal? And even when they are in a tight corner that everyone expects that they will reveal the secrets, they still refuse to spill that beans. Now, wow. Anyway, we'll keep watching, as things unfold. But one thing for sure is that after all this initial gra, everything would just die down like that. And then the chapter would just close. Just like that. That has always been the case. I don't want to mention names, all right, but that has always been the case. After all this initial gra, everything will just die down like that, and then everybody will move on as always in Nigeria. Then eventually he will now go and enjoy the alleged looted funds. No be Nigeria we dey again, eh? Anyway, Gajare, I'll be stopping here, so please feel free to share your own thoughts or opinions about this in the comment section below, okay? And if you have been patient to watch up until now, wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and do me this favor by subscribing to the channel, and also please turn on the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video on this channel, okay? And also please give this video a thumbs up, and please share this video so that everyone can see, all right? So thank you so much for watching. Bye bye, see you in the next video.